Central India, Cambridge International. He will be making a presentation on the Cambridge program. This will be an interactive session and questions can be asked after the presentation is over. Please welcome our principal, Ms. Maya Nerula, who will be introducing the Cambridge program.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure, particularly after 2 difficult years, to be able to say with a lot of confidence that we are looking at moving Hopetown on in a progressive way as far as our educational system is concerned. We started the lower secondary program straight after COVID times, and we run it for 6 months very, very successfully. And we believe that we are ready now to launch the IGCSE. A lot of schools stick with systems, and a lot of people say that those systems are stable and can work for years and years. At Hopetown, we believe differently. We believe that it is important for us to progress with the times, and particularly the COVID times have taught us that the world is a smaller place, and it's imperative for all of us to be able to keep standards which are international standards. Therefore, it is with great enthusiasm and excitement that all of us, my staff and I, are looking at introducing the IGCSE. Now, I'm delighted to have today with us Mr. Tanay Ghosh, who has already been introduced to you. He's come all the way specially just to be able to answer any of the worries and questions that you might have about the Cambridge program. So over to Mr. Ghosh.
Thank you, Maya ma'am, and a very good evening to all of you. Am I audible at the back as well? Can I quickly check if all of you can hear me? Yeah, brilliant. And can I quickly check if you're comfortable if I move around while I present rather than sticking to the podium? Yeah. So this is essentially a CISE school. You've seen CISE schools around you, you know the system well. This program, this presentation is to help you understand the other option in front of you, which is the Cambridge option, which is the IGCSE option. So when you hear the word Cambridge, what comes to your mind? Cambridge University, right? Any guesses how old the university might be? Just take any guess. 100 years? Okay. Can we have a few guesses here? 300, 350? Okay, so we have an IPL style auction going there. 600, okay. Can we change the slide? Next. Next. More than 800 years. How many universities, forget universities, how many things, how many entities are you aware of which are more than 800 years old? And they've not just survived, but they've thrived over 800 years. Not many, right? So this is not just any ordinary university we are talking about. Next slide. Let's have a look at some of the people who've studied at the university very quickly. Next. It's the world's 3rd oldest surviving university. Next. It's always ranked in the top 5 universities globally, even today. Next. The highest number of Nobel Prize winners have come from the University of Cambridge, almost 14% of all winners in history. That's the kind of university we are talking about. Next. Let's have a look at some of the people who studied at the university. You all recognize these names, right? Sir Isaac Newton, the father of evolution, Charles Darwin, Stephen Hawking. That's the kind of legacy we talk about when we talk about Cambridge. Next. And we also have a very strong connection to India. Our first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, Srinivas Ramanujan, the great mathematician, Homi Jahangir Bhabha, Harivansh Rai Bachchan, Dorabji Tata, Vikram Sarabhai, Sarojini Naidu, the Nightingale of India, and Nobel Prize winner Amartya Sen. All of them are very famous, eminent Indians who studied at the University of Cambridge. Next slide. But we don't want our past to dictate our future. We want our future to be even brighter than our past. So you look at the building on the left, that's King's College in Cambridge, one of the famous colleges in the world. That represents our past. But if you look on the right, you see the Cambridge Science Park, where a lot of breakthrough research takes place year after year, and that is what we represent. The best of the past, history, but also progressive education. But you might be wondering, why am I talking about university right now when we are sitting in a school? Because the school curriculum that Hopetown will now offer, or has already started offering students here, it comes to you directly from the University of Cambridge. Next slide. So who are we exactly? I represent a body within the university called Cambridge International. You can think of us as an international board, for lack of a better term. We are the world's largest provider of international qualifications for 5 to 19-year-olds. We have a 150-year history of providing international exams. You think about the boards that you and I are familiar with. CBSE, how old is it? CISE, how old is it? They are very young boards compared to Cambridge. Cambridge has existed for more than 150 years and provided school exams. Now, every second school that springs up around you, you know that they love to call themselves international. Every school is called an international school, a global school, a world school. But when you go inside, is there something truly international going on inside? Maybe, maybe not. But we call ourselves Cambridge International. How do we justify this name? Because the board operates in more than 160 countries, including India. So again, if we compare this to, say, CBSE or CISE, you'll realize that those boards are meant predominantly for Indian schools in India. Cambridge is a board that is recognized worldwide. There are schools in over 160 countries, including India, that offer the Cambridge curriculum to students. In more than 40 countries, we directly work with the education ministries. How many of you have been to Singapore? If I can have a show of hands. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Singapore? Anyone who raised their hand? This is not an exam. Cars, okay. Okay, buildings. So, sorry? So B schools, universities. So predominantly everything positive, right? Nothing really negative stands out. Now think of Singapore. It's a very, very small country, right? You can go from one corner of Singapore to another within 45 minutes at most. 23% of their land has been reclaimed from the sea. So they are not very rich in terms of natural resources either. But they are still one of the world's biggest economies. If you look at their GDP, if you look at their per capita income and other metrics, you'll see Singapore ranks very high. Why? Any guesses why? Education. The quality of people that they produce. And the school system in Singapore, for instance, has been designed by Cambridge. So that's the kind of expertise the organization represents. And that is what is today available to you at Hopetown. In India, we are at almost 600 schools now. If you take a look at some of the names on this screen, you will realize that some of the top schools in the country including the Doon School, which of course you would know well in this very city, offer the Cambridge program. And we are happy to add Hopetown to this list now. Moving on. And I think Maya ma'am and also Rajani Nair ma'am, they are the two people I work with very closely. I have to say, the amount of commitment they have shown on behalf of the school to us is absolutely fantastic. You're in very, very safe hands. Let's move on. But the question is, why are so many schools in India suddenly turning to international boards? 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you wouldn't have seen many international schools, right? What is changing? Have you heard of PISA? PISA. Not the Leaning Tower of Pisa? In terms of education, does anyone know? Even the teachers, if they are here, feel free to answer. Okay. PISA stands for Program of International Student Attainment. It is a test all countries go through. It is organized by the OECD, Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. It's a collection of countries that come together. The test is in math, science, and not English, but what they call global citizenship, but mainly maths and science. The idea is to see which country is preparing its students well for universities and which countries can improve. A few years ago, India took this test and there were 73 countries which participated. Any guesses what India's rank was without Googling? Fourth? Did I hear fourth? Okay. Anyone more optimistic than that? Raise your hands. Top 3. Anyone more pessimistic than that? Okay, so let's do it this way. Top 10, raise your hands. Okay, top 20, raise your hands. Top 50. Very pessimistic parents, ma'am, I must say. Okay, but there's a reason for that pessimism. India ranked 72nd out of 73. But why? You think about it. Which country produces the highest number of engineers in the world? Which country produces the highest number of doctors in the world? So, we may not be great at English, but maths, science, no one can beat us, right? And this exam was mainly in maths and science. So, why are we faring so poorly? Any guesses? Opportunity, okay. Yes, to an extent. Infrastructure, okay.
More of rote learning than more of rote learning.
Absolutely, absolutely, bang on. It's not that we are not learning anything. We are learning exactly what children in other countries are learning. But we are rote learning it. We are learning it to pass exams. We are learning it to score well in exams. There's a very popular term which is now part of the Oxford Dictionary. It's called रट्टाफिकेशन. और किसी country में ये word किसी को पता भी नहीं है होता क्या है. But it's an official entry in the Oxford Dictionary. So the question is, you will get 90% by rote learning, but by memorizing. But will that help you in the future? Let's keep moving. Yeah, next. Let's look at the results. This is statistical evidence which says that if the child is studying in grade 3 in 2021, what level will the child have to be at in 2035 when he starts working? Unfortunately, the data says that rote learning may be great for your exam results, but it will not really help you at university. It will not help you when you start working. Let's move on. You forget whatever I said, just remember this. We are not preparing students for the world that exists today. We are preparing students for the world that will exist 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. So the kind of skills they need to be equipped with is also something we need to keep in mind. So we can't afford to stay still. Like ma'am said, it's a school which enjoys a very good reputation in Dehradun, a very good academic reputation in Dehradun. The easiest thing for ma'am and the team here to do would have been to just continue with what they were doing. They've taken on a lot of hard work when they introduced something like Cambridge, but they introduced it because of a big reason. If you look at how fast everything's changing, just think of 2005, just 17 years ago. What kind of phones were we using back then? Does anyone remember the phone which had a torch, a Nokia phone with a torch, and you couldn't break it even if you wanted to? It was that hard. Think of what we are using today. In 15 years, in 17 years, look at how technology has progressed. Now think of what will happen 17 years from now. The pace at which technology is changing is frightening. We only have half an hour today, so there's a slide that I had which I had to delete. But otherwise, I would have shown you an English essay which was written by a robot. And none of you could have guessed that it was not written by a human being. We have already seen a lot of people lose their jobs because they could not cope up with change. Certain professions. Do we see typewriters anymore? There were people whose entire livelihoods depended on typing things on a typewriter. They have had to adapt. So technology is unfortunately replacing a lot of work that humans have been used to doing. There's a study which says that 85% of jobs that will exist in 2030, that is just 8 years from now, haven't even been invented yet. Just think of that for a second. If we don't know what kind of jobs we are preparing students for, what are schools supposed to do? अगर इतना uncertainty है तो school क्या करे? How will schools prepare students? The answer is to prioritize skills over content. Don't focus on the what. Focus on how, focus on why. For example, don't focus on what demonetization is. That's very easy. Anyone can just read a definition. Focus on what kind of impact did it have economically? What kind of impact did it have socially? Analyze everything in more depth so that tomorrow, when you take an exam, you're not stumped because question syllabus ke bahar se aa gaya. Learn in a way that's holistic. Learn in a way that helps you develop your research skills, your critical thinking skills, your independent research skills, collaboration, creativity, all of which are very, very important parts of the Cambridge program. Yeah. The way we work has changed. Our workplaces, our offices have changed. So why shouldn't the way we study change as well? You know, the classroom setup we use today. There's a teacher with a table and a chair, and then there are students in, again, many chairs, many desks. You know where it came from? During the Industrial Revolution, the UK needed people to understand what is supposed to be done in factories. That is how they taught. They couldn't afford to educate one-on-one, so they seated 50, 100 people in this kind of a setup and instructed faculty workers. But even today, hundreds of years later, we follow the same system. So there's a lot that needs to change. Now, let's talk about Cambridge a bit again. We offer programs right from pre-primary, right up to grade 12. Currently, the school is authorized to offer grades 6, 7th and 8th, which we call Cambridge Lower Secondary, and Cambridge IGCSE, which is grades 9 and 10. Going forward, the school will also be authorized to offer grades 11 and 12, which is called the Cambridge Advanced Levels or A levels. Let's look at this example. Can you see these animals? Think of them as students. There's a monkey, there's an elephant, there's a dog, and there are a couple of others. The exam is the same for them. They have to climb a tree. Will all animals do equally well? Who will do better? Monkey? Who will do worse? Elephant? Why? Because everyone has different skills. Similarly, each child is built differently. Not every child is meant to be a doctor, not every child is meant to be an engineer, not every child is meant to take up science, commerce, or humanities. Every child has different strengths, weaknesses, interests. We need a system which values that. Thankfully, you're sitting in a school which values that, which has a fantastic arts program here. Not a lot of schools can boast about something like that, the kind of facilities you have here. But the key is to let students choose based on their interests rather than box them in to limited options. So with Cambridge, you will find a wider selection of subjects to choose from. They can either choose depth or breadth. So what I mean by that is, in the senior classes, they can either specialize. So science, commerce, humanities, or any stream that you would like. Or you can mix and match and opt for breadth. So it's a more holistic form of education. Very importantly, students can also choose when to take exams. With CISE, you can take exams only once a year, in February, March. With Cambridge, you can take exams thrice a year. February, March, May, June, and October, November. So as a student, theoretically, you can break your exams into multiple series and do them as convenient. Having said that, it's an administrative nightmare for the school to run multiple series. So it's a conversation you need to have as parents with the school, that which exam series would you offer? How can we benefit from this level of flexibility that Cambridge gives us? But the key aspect is that there is much more flexibility than you get with either CBSE or CISE. Now let's talk about recognition. I was asking Rajini ma'am earlier, what are some of the things parents are mostly worried about? Almost everything she said centered around the program may be great, but is it recognized in India? हमें अगर बच्चे को बाहर नहीं भेजना है तो क्या फिर भी हम कैम्ब्रिज लें, कुछ फायदा है? Cambridge is recognized by universities the world over, including in India. So please let there be no doubt. This is, yes, if you want to send your child to a foreign university, it has advantages over both CBSE and CISE. But if you don't want to send your child abroad, if you want your child to stay back in India and study, there is absolutely no disadvantage in choosing Cambridge over CBSE or CISE. So please let that not be a reason or a worry for not choosing Cambridge. That is, if you hear that from some quarters, it may be true of some other boards, international boards, such as the IB. It's also a name you would have heard of. It is not true of Cambridge. It has been granted equivalence by the Association of Indian Universities, AIU. Today, a Cambridge mark sheet in grade 10 and grade 12 is treated at par with a CBSE and CISCE and any state board mark sheet in grades 10 and 12. So please let there be no ambiguity about this at all. So where do our students go on to study? About 50% of our students go abroad, 50% stay back in India. Some names there, they've been going to the top universities in the world and also the top universities in the country. If you look at, and I think some of you might be worried about entrance exams, right? Like JEE, NEET, UPSC, NDA. Just look at this. The JEE advanced topper in the girls category just 3 years ago, 2019. Didn't study CBSE, didn't study ICSE, studied Cambridge and still topped JEE. So it's not as if it is a system that is only meant for an elite few who want to send their children abroad. No. It is equally valid for children who want to stay back in India, go to a Delhi university, go to a Mumbai university, go to an IIT, go to an AIMS for medicine. Our students have gone there and continue to go there. So typically universities feel, so MIT today is regarded as the world's best university. For the last 2 years, they've been ranked #1. The Dean of Admissions there says Cambridge students are very well prepared for our curriculum. We find that they have a lot of confidence, but also good, deep subject knowledge and the ability to think critically. So that is why this school has introduced Cambridge. That is why teachers are spending time to undergo training courses, complete training courses for themselves, so that they can teach your children effectively and teach Cambridge as it is supposed to be taught. A couple of testimonials from students who went to an IIT and to AIMS. I'll move on in the interest of time. Have a look at our class 10th and 12th mark sheet on your screen. You will see that for every subject, we give you a grade and we give you a mark. So when you apply to an university in India, you will have to show your marks because universities in India ask for marks, not grades. When you apply to a foreign university, they would ask for a grade. So there is no conversion required. Students tend to lose out when a mark is converted into a grade or a grade is converted into a mark. That is not required. You get a mark and you get a grade. So everything is black and white when you're applying to universities. Sorry, just take it back. Previous slide. Yeah. Also from a school perspective, very critical, because we have exams in February and March as well, you don't need to alter your academic calendar in the school. So your summer holidays, your winter holidays, all your school events can continue the way they are structured right now. You don't have to make any special changes to accommodate Cambridge in your calendar. So we provide a lot of help to schools as well, a lot of training. Right. So I'll end with 2 slides. Are you fond of cars? I think a gentleman here, when I asked about Singapore, he said cars is what came to mind. I'll show you a picture. Do you recognize this car? Absolutely. Can we have a round of applause for sir? Which one, sir? It's the Ford Model T. It is the first ever mass-produced car in the world. So, Mr. Henry Ford, next slide. Or just pull it back, 1 second. Yeah. The founder of Ford, Sir Henry Ford, he staked his entire fortune in building the prototype for this car. He would have gone bankrupt had the car not been successful. People asked him, sir, before taking such a huge risk, why didn't you ask people what they wanted? You know what he said? He said, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Because the world hadn't seen a car, right? They had only seen horses. तो क्या चाहिए? घोड़े ही चाहिए, but थोड़े और तेज. So sometimes it is our imagination that limits us, right? We have seen CBSE around us. For example, when I was growing up, I didn't know what Cambridge was. I didn't have a Cambridge school nearby. So CBSE, CISE, these are boards that you're very comfortable with. You've studied them yourselves. You've grown up around them. Your neighbors' children study the same thing. Cambridge might seem alien, but it is an option. It is a fantastic option that I think, personally, again, call me biased, but I think it's an option you should feel lucky to have in this school. Not every school has this option. Your school here has the vision to introduce something like that. Please explore the option, research, ask questions, but don't think that this would disadvantage your students in any way, your children in any way. Yeah, last one. So I'll end with this Chinese proverb. The winds of change are blowing. You will see Cambridge around you more and more, international curriculum more and more. You have two options. Some people build walls to block the wind, and others build windmills to channel the wind. The option is yours. I hope you channel the wind, you make use of this opportunity. Maya ma'am, Rajani ma'am, the entire Cambridge team here hopes for that as well. And yeah, all the very best to you, and thank you so much. Do we have time for questions? We can take 2 questions, I'm told, okay? So there are children with mics around you, so if there are any questions, I think the gentleman here wants to ask a question. Yeah.
2 things. What about the ethos or value system that our country has? How does this system integrate into it? Secondly, when you learn stories from West, they will be talking of very cold weather. We are staying here in hot weather. So do we link it to our environment, or we talk only of West?
So, I think that's a great question, sir, firstly. Second, up to grade 8, we feel very strongly that Cambridge may work in 160 countries, but languages, the languages they learn and the social studies they learn, history, geography, that should be pertinent to the country they are in. So when you include things like moral science, for example, schools have complete flexibility. In fact, not just flexibility, we encourage schools to incorporate all of that up to grade 8 so that children learn about their own country, about moral values of their country, the value system in their country, their history, and so on. 9th onwards, we ensure that everything is global. So for example, the history we teach, the geography we teach, the sciences, in any case, that's universal. But even with the languages, we ensure that everything we teach is global. Just because we are headquartered in the UK doesn't mean we will teach children UK or English history, British history. IGCSE stands for International General Certificate of Secondary Education. It's the world's most popular board exam. And we take stringent care to ensure that, for example, the examples we use are not just relatable to children sitting in the UK or children sitting in the West. We take great care. If you look at the textbooks, you will probably see, we will take great care to ensure that everything is relatable to a child in India, to a child in the Middle East, a child in Africa, a child in Europe. So what I would request you to do is have a chat with the teachers here, with the team here. They will take you through some of the materials that we use for Cambridge. See for yourself if that includes what you want it to include or not. Do we have another one? I think Sir has a question. Can we pass the mic to him?
Apart from the teaching methodology, what is the basic difference in the course between CBSE and Cambridge?
Sir, again a very good question. But apart from बोलने से नहीं चलेगा, teaching methodology is the key, right? So we can't discount it that way. There are three good components. So there are three important components to any curriculum: the content, the curriculum itself. So what are you teaching? The methodology or pedagogy, how are you teaching it? And the assessment, how are you assessing your students? So content is very similar, especially compared to ICSE or CISC or CBSE. There's not a lot of difference in what children will study. The difference lies in two things: how they'll study, how that same concept is being taught, and two, how are children being assessed. I'll give you a very basic example from primary science. Now, the topic is the characteristics of living things. We've all studied living things, non-living things, right? In a CBSE textbook, it takes you 4 pages to teach the topic. The question that is asked at the end is, pick, so they'll give you 4 options, it's a multiple choice question. Pick which of these is a living thing. If you have even mugged the entire concept, let's say you haven't understood anything, you simply memorized, you will still be able to answer that. It's framed in such a way. In Cambridge, the same concept is taught in 2 pages, half a page is taken by a photograph, and the question is much more practical. So the question is, a rabbit is eating grass, it hears a sound, it looks behind it and hops away. How many signs of life is the rabbit displaying? So even at a very young age, we are not serving the answer on a platter. We are forcing the child to think. The same concept will then apply to all subjects and all classes, right? ये मैंने बहुत basic example दिया है so that it's relatable for everyone. So how it is taught is very different, and how it is assessed. So how are questions framed? How are we forcing children to use their analytical thinking? That is different. So by the time they reach grade 12 or they sit for competitive exams, how are competitive exams structured? It has a lot of logical reasoning, right? It requires you to apply knowledge, not just say what you learned. How is this important? How will you apply it in a practical scenario? All of these is what makes Cambridge different from CBSE or ICSE. The topic, even if the topics they are teaching is the same. So again, when you have a look at the textbooks, when you start having these conversations with your teachers, you will see what I mean by that, right? So, do we have time for one more question, Rajani ma'am? Ayush, so he has a mic in his hand. So let's take one last question. I'll answer it in a couple of minutes, and we'll go from there.
Sorry really for delaying everything, I think.
Please.
Just one question is, as you said, how and we need to be reasonable in questioning. So, what are you doing as compared to kind of developing the teachers to teach the Cambridge board? What homework is being done by your? Because that is what we really need to understand. For the children, I think it's the first time. But how are the teachers coping up with the total system and how it's going to come up in the later stages of the year? So.
I think again a fantastic question, because the board, the curriculum can be great, but it's only as good as the teacher teaching it, right? Number one, only 1 out of every 10 schools which apply to Cambridge get authorized by Cambridge. So, because there are a lot of stringent requirements, academic requirements that the school needs to meet. So today, if Hopetown is applied and has successfully become a Cambridge school, that itself is an indication that it meets our academic requirements, that we think that your teachers are good enough. Number two, even if they are good enough, they are used to teaching CISC or CBSE. They are not used to teaching Cambridge. So what do? We force schools to train teachers regularly. So before they became a Cambridge school, they had to train teachers, as well as, I think you yourself enrolled for a course, principal, vice principal, headmistress, academic coordinator, everyone has to be trained by Cambridge. So they've completed level 1 of training. After a year, after they've taught for a year, they will be asked to complete another round of training. So there is regular training, face-to-face and online, that Cambridge offers around the world, and your teachers. And also, if a teacher gets a completion certificate after doing a course, it means that they have completed the tasks that they were supposed to during the course. Otherwise, we don't give a completion certificate. The teacher would just get a participation certificate. So there are certain things that as a parent, you can be reassured by, that the school is absolutely going in the right direction. We have had a very pleasant association with the school until now. When the school applied for, so initially it only was authorized for 6th, 7th, 8th. It had to apply for 9th and above. The reason they got it so quickly is because how happy we are with the school. So they are doing something right. And if you're sitting here, it means you have trust in this school, in the team here. So please continue to have that trust. Yeah, thank you very much. And I assume there would be more questions. If there are, please direct it to Rajini ma'am or Maya ma'am. And I will do my best to relay the answers through them. Right? Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. A humble request to all our guests. Mobile phones need to be put on silent mode. No personal photography is permitted. Please do remain seated while the show is on. We are proud of our green campus. Please do not litter. Students with armbands are a part of health and safety team. In case of an emergency, please contact them. This is a great occasion of joy for all of us, as we have come together to celebrate this auspicious day. After withstanding 2 years of the pandemic, today we are here, stronger than ever, celebrating the school's 24th Founders Day. In the moment of our greatest distress, we found solace in the strength and support provided by the Hopetown fraternity. The school is fortunate to have a community which include teachers, students, and a wonderful support staff who believe that education goes beyond what happens in a classroom. So sit back as you will now witness the canvas of Hopetown being painted with vibrant colors of joy, rhythm, and melody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I heartily welcome you to Founders 2022. It is a matter of pride and honor to acknowledge the hard work of students in academics, sports, and co-curricular activities. It is time now to commence with the much-awaited award ceremony for the year 2022. May I request Mr. Saraugi, Anamya's grandfather, to present the awards to the ISC Toppers 2021-22.
देखो कट रहा है एक साइड से वो आ रहा है मेरा ये चल रहा है फ्रेम वो कर रहा है स्विच कर देंगे अब आपको नीचे उतरना पड़ेगा ये तो झुमका रहेगा ही हाँ मैं आज आपको हट रहा हूँ हाँ एक बार सेट करके फिर हट रहा हूँ तो देखो अच्छा नहीं आ रहा है फ्रेम कैसा आ रहा है जूम आउट करो ना थोड़ा सा जूम आउट करो हाँ और करो जूम आउट हाँ और करो पूरा टेबल आना चाहिए यस और देखो साइड में 2 अवार्ड्स रह गए ये अब आया ना ओके
The highest achiever in the ISC 2022 examination is Anamya Saraugi. She scored an overall percentage of 98%. Anamya also topped in mathematics with 100%. Commerce 97%, Economics 95%, and Computer Science with 97%. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Namya Saraugi. Hia Atre scored 99% in English.
Yeah.
92% in chemistry, 93% in physics, and 97% in Indian music Hindustani. Tanishka Garg scored 100% in mathematics. Tanishka is not attending Founders. I request Sarvangi Mittal to collect the award on her behalf. Asmi Gulri scored 90% in biology. And 95% in home science. Mrinmoy Mandal scored 90% in biology. Jagriti Agarwal and Noordeep Kaur scored 95% in psychology. Noordeep. Jagriti is not attending Founders. Samriddhi Agarwal scored 93% in history. Samriddhi is not attending Founders. I request Vriddhi Singhania to collect the award on her behalf. In political science, Sanjana Moore scored 98%. Priyanshi Jain and Vaibhavi Jadeja scored 97% in art. Vaibhavi Jadeja. Priyanshi Jain is not attending Founders. I request Mr. Jain, Priyanshi's grandfather, to collect the award on her behalf. Urvi Jain scored the highest with 97% in art and 88% in geography. Urvi is not attending Founders. I request Asmi Gulri to take the award on her behalf. Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now recognize the ICSE Academic Achievers 2021-22. May I request Mr. Keal, Jia Keal's father, to give away the awards. Jia Keal did the school proud with her outstanding contribution to academic achievements with an overall aggregate of 98.2%. She scored the highest in commercial studies with 100%. Art 99%. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Jia Keal. Vanessa Alam achieved the highest in English with 98%. Hindi is topped by Samagya Jha with 99%. Sanvi Jain topped in history, civics and geography with 99%. And home science with 97%. Nandini Garg and Kirtana Moore scored 100% in economics and mathematics respectively. Nandini Garg, Kirtana Moore, Kirtana also scored the highest in science with 98%. Mehak Agarwal and Drishtita Banik scored 98% in computer application. Mehak Agarwal,
Drishtita Banik. Vedika Lal scored 96% in Indian dance. Vaishali Gupta topped Hindustani music with 99%. Asmi Bhattu scored the highest in French with 94%. Avishka Tyagi scored 97% in home science. Thank you, sir. May I request Mrs. Puri, Ramya Puri's mother, to give away the awards for the category of class toppers. Fiona Brar scored the highest percentage in grade 6. Hansika Saraf topped in grade 7A. Siddhika Agarwal achieved the highest score in grade 7B. Chitrani Singh topped in grade 8A. In grade 8B, Janvi Kalia scored the highest. Suhaira Khan scored the highest in grade 9. The highest achiever in grade 11 is Ramya Puri. Thank you, ma'am.
We now move on to the category of special awards. I request Mrs. Singhania, Tarini Singhania's mother, to give away the awards. The Stuti Pandey Award, in memory of the daughter of Mr. Vinay Pandey, is awarded to a student who shows consistent and positive commitment to improve in academics. This year, the top performer in this category is Ritika Agarwal. The Nihil Sign Labor Award. This award was initiated by Mr. and Mrs. Kabra, parents of our ex-student Shubhangi Kabra, when they witnessed a positive change in their daughter's personality after she joined Hopetown. Since then, this award has been awarded to a student with distinct personality development. This year in the junior category, the award goes to Simar Sahota. Simar has challenged herself and made active efforts in developing her personality by participating in various public speaking events. In the senior category, the award goes to Ripandeep Kaur. From a quiet girl who solely focused on her studies, Ripandeep has become a confident and a talented individual. She took on the responsibility of Diamond House as the captain in her graduating year and has led the house to a new height. Besides inspiring her house students, she excelled in football and athletics. Her passion for IT is reflected in her academic performance. She is also an active member of the Cyber Congress team and Health and Safety Sport. May I request the awardees to receive the Nihil Sign Labor Award trophy. In the arena of sports, best player in the senior category goes to Vedanti Dave. Vedanti is a decorated swimmer and has done the school proud by winning consistently. She has won gold medals in 50-meter butterfly, 50-meter freestyle, 200-meter individual medley, 4x100-meter medley relay race, and 4x100-meter freestyle relay race in the CISCE Zonal Swimming Championship. She also participated in the CISCE National Swimming Championship held in Bengaluru. In the junior category, the award goes to Kanak Agarwal. Kanak participated in the Uttarakhand State Junior Athletics Meet held at Maharana Pratap Sports College in September 2022. She stood out by receiving a gold medal in the high jump category. The most promising player goes to Tarini Singhania and Pihu Nyal. Tarini possesses all the attributes of an excellent sports person. She received gold in high jump in the District Athletics Meet 2018 and Uttarakhand State Athletics Meet 2022. She also participated in the CISCE National Athletics Meet held in Lucknow 2019 and National Athletics Meet held in Visakhapatnam in 2017. Pihu is a dedicated and a diligent swimmer. She has received a silver medal in 50-meter breaststroke in the CISCE Zonal Swimming Championship and 50-meter freestyle in the inter-school swimming competition held at Weinbergallen. She also participated in the CISCE National Swimming Championship held in Bengaluru. Thank you, ma'am. I request Mr. Singh, Ripandeep's father, to give away the awards. In the arena of performing arts, dance senior category goes to Tripta Sabrawal. A versatile dancer, Tripta excels in various dance forms. While performing, she engages the audience in a unique experience. She is well versed in the intricate details of the folk dance form. In the junior category, the award goes to Gauri Gupta. An avid Odissi dancer, Gauri has a strong sense of rhythm. It is her sincerity and ability to put the learned into practice that makes her an earnest dancer. Indian Music Award in the senior category is backed by Pihu Nyal. Undoubtedly, Pihu is one of the most persistent tabla players. Over the years, she has achieved proficiency in the subject and has been diligently working on her skills to better herself. In the junior category, the award goes to Nitya Bansal. Nitya is a disciplined and a dedicated santoor player. Her passion for the instrument makes learning new ragas simple for her. Western Music Award is secured by Sukanya Gupta. Drums and octopad have been Sukanya's forte. Committed to the process of learning, she plays from the heart and leaves the audience mesmerized. Thank you, sir.
I request Mrs. Sharda, Lavanya Sharda's mother, to give away the awards. In the field of art, the award in the senior category goes to Adya Shri. Adya's creativity is what defines her. She has a strong sense of detailing and color application. She has refined artistic sense and a fine thought process which is evident in her artwork. In the junior category, the award goes to Arna Narula. Arna's artwork demonstrates her imaginative side. It is her creativity that sets her apart from the rest. Authenticity and diversity are the two prominent strengths that she possesses. The most promising artist goes to Lavanya Sharda and Sarvangi Mittal. For Lavanya, art is not an achievement, rather a journey. In these many years, she has mastered the skill of using her emotions to connect with people through her artwork. Sarvangi is an ingenious artist with a strong sense of color, which makes her artwork vibrant. She is not only imaginative, but also sincere in her approach. She has grown into a better version of herself, which is evident in the strokes of her brush. In the field of IT, Design Award in the senior category goes to Ramya Puri and Ripandeep Kaur. Ramya is the torchbearer of artificial intelligence and robotics in school. She won the first prize in the hackathon held at Strawberry Fields, Chandigarh. From designing microbit-based programs to posters, Ramya has outshone herself each time. Ripon is a top coder and designer. She has contributed immensely by winning laurels for the school in 2 significant hackathons during the term. She has been a constant support to peers and juniors and has been an asset to the school. The award for design in the junior category goes to Sunishka Motani, an enthusiastic young designer. Sunishka loves to use IT to create design. Among her specialities are animation, video games, and poster designing. Thank you, ma'am.
A teacher's influence on a student's life is undeniable. They are the builders of a better tomorrow. For us, they're not just educators and counselors, but guiding stars who enlighten our path with unique perspectives. Last 2 years have been tough for all of us, but our teachers left no stone unturned to keep up with the changing times. For all the years they have given to the school, it is the perfect opportunity to acknowledge their efforts by felicitating them on this auspicious occasion. Hopetown takes pride in celebrating this journey of teachers who have worked for 10, 15 and 20 years selflessly. It gives us immense pleasure to announce that our beloved principal, Miss Maya Narula, has successfully completed 12 years of service at Hopetown Girls' School. I now cordially invite Miss Maya Narula to give away the awards to members of staff who have completed 10 years of service. Miss Rajni Nair, Mr. Manoj Joshi, Miss Sapna Sagar, Miss Shivani Pradhan, Miss Deepa Mittal, Miss Ashu Thapa, Mr. Gomit Shah, Mr. Mahavir Singh, Miss Sadhna Thapa, Mr. Prabhu Datta Lenka, and Mr. Shamendra Kumar. We now have teachers who have completed 15 years of service. Miss Rekha Tomar, Mr. Rais Ahmed Khan, Miss Chand Sungriyal, Mr. Konsam Sachindra Manga. Miss Sadhna Lenka. We finally have teachers who have completed 20 years of service at Hopetown Girls' School. Dr. Anita Singh. Mr. Divakar Ganguly. Miss Suman Anand. And Mr. Netra Singh Chauhan.
It is time now for the most prestigious awards. The Malala Yousafzai Award goes to a student who has contributed strongly towards creating a positive environment and acts as a positive guide to peers and juniors. This year, the award goes to Gauri Gupta. Gauri has been a positive influence for both her peers and juniors. As the cultural prefect, Gauri has always been a role model for her juniors. She has ensured through active encouragement and motivation that all her juniors have had a chance to participate in different events for their self-development. She has been extremely supportive in reaching out to students, specifically the new students, and enabling them to settle down. She serves a positive role model for both her juniors and peers. The Principal Award goes to Chandra Verma. The Principal Award goes to an all-rounder, and this year it goes to Chandra Verma. Be it in academics, leadership, sports, dance, music, public speaking, conduct, Chandra has proved herself in all these fields and is indeed an all-rounder. She managed to create a fine balance between her academics and co-curricular activities and the school captain's responsibilities. She is the second highest scorer in grade 11. She is a passionate athlete, excellent orator, a talented pianist, and a graceful Odissi dancer. Chandra led the school with the perfect balance of maturity and diplomacy in her role of the school captain, displaying excellent leadership skills. The V. Ramamurthy Award goes to a student whose contribution to welfare of the Hopetown community is commendable. The award this year goes to Ramya Puri for her outstanding contribution to the community in inspiring her peers and juniors. She initiated and nurtured the culture of robotics in Hopetown. She self-educated herself with working on sensor-based projects and later taught the same to others in the school. It is difficult for a child of her age to have the ability to inspire others, but Ramya certainly has been able to do so. She has been motivating students to design in different platforms. Under her leadership, the youngsters of the school have been spreading cyber awareness. She has held the Mitra Club, art exhibition, Safe Club and Advait musical performances in designing posters, brochures and teasers to showcase their exhibits. The Leadership Award for Outstanding Leadership Qualities this year goes to Muskan Tulsian. In her role as the discipline captain of the school, Muskan was truly devoted to her role and worked relentlessly to fulfill her duties. She truly justified her position and never succumbed to peer pressure and always chose to stand alone rather than supporting the wrong. She was always present and actively took on many responsibilities to ensure the smooth functioning of the school. She led her peers in projects related to service, like Anti-Bullying Week, inspiring them to work together. It is time now for the most coveted awards of the evening. The sports trophy goes to Diamond House. May I please call upon the house captain, the vice captain, AHM and HM to receive the award. The conduct trophy goes to Ruby House. May I please call upon the house captain, the vice captain and HM to receive the award. The academic trophy goes to Sapphire House. May I please call upon the house captain, the vice captain and HM to receive the award. The music and dance trophy goes to Ruby House. May I please call upon the house captain, the vice captain and HM to receive the award. evening. Good evening. We greet the ones who have joined us now in the celebrations of the 24th Founders Day of Hopetown Girls' School. May I once again request you all to switch off your mobile phones or keep them on vibration mode throughout the program. Please note that the venues for the exit counters of each block will be announced at the end of the program after the national anthem, and you all are requested to join us for the same. We hope that you will enjoy this evening with us. I now call on our school captain, Chandra Verma, to deliver her speech.
The last time I stood to deliver a speech, audience, I remember thinking, could anything be more nerve-wracking than this? Ladies and gentlemen, delivering a speech in front of my parents, when I can clearly see the reaction to my sentences, I can feel genuine panic kicking in. Nonetheless, I must not worry myself and follow Pumbaa from the Lion King, who said, Hakuna Matata. Good evening. If I say that I came into this institution as a tender little girl from Patna and transformed into this bright extroverted lady, that would be a lie. I remember entering the school as though I knew it all, but was surprised to witness the brimming talent, the exceptional intelligence, and the extraordinary personality of each student that I came across. I was unquestionably humbled. Not only was I surrounded by impressively talented people, but was also encouraged to discover my own hidden skills. It is the school's grooming that transformed me into becoming the finest version of myself, into becoming the school captain. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "Do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you will be criticized anyway." The Council of 2022-23 took this quote to heart the minute we were badged as captains. The overflow of ideas and the eagerness to accomplish all that we missed out on during the pandemic is what truly made our tenure a memorable one. While certain traditions were upheld, others were reformed. We organized the very first Christmas sale that the school has seen, a tradition of giving that we hope will continue. A number of cultural fests, from Shame Malang to Into the Savannah, were introduced to liven up the atmosphere. We held an in-person inter-house music and dance and recommenced Model United Nations and Anti-Bullying Week. The Buzz, a brand new edition of the Global Affairs Committee, was also introduced. Ladies and gentlemen, this year we have successfully hosted the exclusively student-led festivals Izhar-e-Hunar and Earth Art after the long drawn-out pandemic. We have also introduced our first ever evening wear, a newly designed uniform by the council. Waste segregation and plastic segregation have been revived in sync with the theme of climate change that we have tirelessly worked for this year. I wish to acknowledge the endless support of 3 people in the school: our principal, Ms. Maya Nirula, the senior school coordinator, Ms. Rekha Tomar, and the middle school coordinator, Ms. Rajni Nair. They have not only maintained a rich culture at school, but have also played an incredible role in bringing the hope to Hopetown. Now, you all may be wondering why I have adorned such an attire. Well, it is art meeting responsibility, because that is who a true Hopetavian is, an individual who is never satisfied. We learn, we compete, we excel, and we achieve. This is the one place where you'll find an athlete who trains in the morning and paints in the evening. An IT captain truly keen about technology, but tops the batch at the same time. A debater who fights for her team and dances for founders. The students here possess an extremely diverse set of skills. As Bob Marley said, some people feel the rain, others just get wet. We at this institution have not only learned, but have also lived. From running to escape the rain during PT, to hogging down the last bit of food in the mess. From the impromptu dance parties in the blocks, to having a gala time with people not even in your batch. Hopetown and the love it shares has undeniably left a mark on us all. A school where teachers and students have the greatest bond, where you learn to earn respect rather than ask for it, and a place where you treat people with kindness. That is called Hopetown. Adara, my batch, to whom I'm eternally grateful for the memories that we have created together. 8 years with you were not enough. However, considering how even a lifetime with you will be inadequate, I will reluctantly concede to us leaving for college. Before I end my speech, an earnest request to all to refrain from bursting crackers this Diwali and celebrate an environmentally conscious holiday. Our actions today will save our tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandra. Now I request our principal, Ms. Maya Narala, to address the gathering.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear alum. It's lovely to see so many of you this evening. It gives us enormous pleasure to host you on the campus today after 2 rather difficult years. You can see that we are back to a normal school life, and children are once again bringing the campus alive with their laughter and song and dance and intellectually invigorating moments. The last couple of board examinations have been nightmarishly unpredictable, both in terms of whether the exams would be conducted or not, and in terms of the constantly changing examination patterns. However, the class of 2022 showed enormous resilience and patience. 21 of 40 students scored above 90%, and the average score was 86.4, which is way above school averages. The toppers are Anamya Saraugi with 98%, Kia Atreya and Vedanshi Kayal with 97%, Khushbu Agarwal, Kashish Pradar and Tanishka Garg with 95%. Of the 44 students, 14 have taken admission in international universities and 30 are in Indian universities. Grade 10, the current grade 11, also rose to the occasion, and 30 of 61 students scored above 90%. Jia Kayal with 98.2, Nandini Garg with 97.6, Ishwin Kaur Saluja 97.2, and Kirtana Moore with 97 are the toppers. 2020 and 2021 were extremely difficult years, with the dominant emotions of campus last October, relishing every moment of school life and friendships. They had missed each other just so much. Everything in school and life had to be reinvented. Who we spoke to, what we ate, what and how we celebrated festivals and weddings, examinations and classrooms. It taught us never to take life for granted. The value of technology that allowed us to communicate more efficiently than we ever have gave us a chance to explore the world online, to learn new things and be self-sufficient in so many ways. Technology became our teacher, companion, and entertainer. The world suffered, shared, and learned together in a way it has never before. We learned that we are all interconnected. We are one world. We need to hang on to those positive experiences because they will see us through other crises. At the moment, we are definitely a troubled world. Restarting Hopetown in October 21 was a whole new experience. Apart from coping with the aftermath of COVID, a large number of our middle school students were new and unfamiliar with boarding life in Hopetown. Re-establishing the Hopetown culture and worldview, the house spirit, the devotion to music and dance, apart from the rigor it takes to get excellent results, was like starting a whole new school. It has taken us all of this year, and I think we are finally there. We have gone through major changes. We are now a completely Wi-Fi school. Technology plays an even more important role in teaching and learning than it did pre-COVID times. We have introduced the Cambridge program successfully. And Education World, which is the top organization that ranks schools across India, has just announced the results for the 10 best boarding schools in the country and ranked us 4. So we must be doing something right. The many events scheduled across the country has enabled children to participate in a series of sporting events, and our girls, as usual, have been absolute stars. Radhika Garg participated in the CISCE Zonal Basketball Championship held at Kanpur in September for the Uttarakhand State team. Uttarakhand State won the championship. Pihu Unyal, Rupal Soni, Tessia Grover and Vedanti Dave were selected for the Uttarakhand State swimming team in the CISE Zonal Swimming Championships at Allahabad in September. Vedanti Dave was awarded gold medals in 50 meters butterfly, 50 meters freestyle, 200 meters individual medley race, 400 meters medley race, and 400 meters freestyle relay race. She is a national star, and we are proud to have her with us. Pihu Unyal was awarded a silver at the 50 meters breaststroke. Tessia Grover was awarded silver for the 200 meters breaststroke. Our swimming team participated in the 12th Mrs. E.C. West Memorial Inter-School Swimming Competition in Weinberg Island School, Missouri in August. Radha Lopez was awarded a gold for 50 meters backstroke. Vedanti Dave was awarded gold in 50 meters butterfly, silver in 50 meters freestyle, silver in 50 meters individual medley race. Rupal Soni was awarded silver in 50 meters butterfly. Pihu Unyal was awarded silver in the 50 meters freestyle and a bronze for the 50 meters breaststroke. Tessia Grover was awarded bronze medals for the 50 meters breaststroke. You can imagine how happy I am when the girls come back with all their jingling medals. It's the most glorious feeling. Our school athletics team participated in the 19 Uttarakhand State Junior Athletics meet held at the Maharana Pratap Sports College in August. Kanak Agarwal was awarded the gold in high jump, Tarini Singhania the gold in high jump, Siddhi Bhatt the gold in javelin, Vedika Lal a silver for discus throw and a bronze for shot put. Aradhya Jaiswal was awarded silver for shot put and bronze for javelin. Aditi Shri was awarded the silver in javelin. Sargun Kaur was awarded a bronze for high jump. Sahara Khan was awarded a bronze for long jump. Avishi Goel was awarded a bronze medal for discus throw. Bahar Sharma was awarded a bronze for shot put. Ramya Puri was awarded a bronze medal for high jump. And last evening, we heard the jingle of medals again when our girls returned victorious once more from Weinberg Allen's Athletic Championship with 3 gold medals, 4 silver medals, and 7 bronze. Congratulations to the girls and their amazing coach. Hunerika Sharma participated in the Uttarakhand State Shooting Championship. She was awarded the gold medal in air rifle and air piston under 15 category. Navika Jain participated in the 21st UK State Roller Skating Championship held in October. She was awarded the silver medal for 300 meters race and a gold for the 500 meters race. Kanak Agarwal was awarded a gold medal for the National Roller Hockey Championship in Visakhapatnam and a silver in 2021. We successfully hosted an inter-house Model United Nations after a 3-year lull. We had put the girls through training, and some of our girls went on to participate successfully in a Missouri International School Model United Nations. Vanessa Alam won the Best Delegate, and Aprajita Singh and Asmi Bhattu received a verbal mention. Our girls have also been participating actively in various inter-school literary competitions and have performed very well. The following girls secured the second position in the zonal round of the ASICS inter-school literary events organized at St. George's College. Avanya Dev for creative writing, Jia Keal for painting, and Simar Sahota for creative writing. 8 grade 11 students participated in the Doon School Young Entrepreneur Conference in August, and 8 students from grade 11 participated in the Bond Entrepreneur Now, a pan-India entrepreneur challenge for school students in collaboration with Bond University from Australia. Commerce students are currently working on an online event organized by the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, which is under what is called the Wharton Global Youth Program. And in this program, trading runs for 10 weeks, and teams manage portfolios of $100,000 in virtual cash. The winners are selected on the strength, creativity, and articulation of their strategies and competition experiences, not on the growth of their portfolios. As of October, Hopetown is ranked as 611 out of 5,053 teams internationally. So good luck to the girls. We are anxiously waiting to see the results. All these experiences are wonderful career-related simulations. Kriti and Ripandeep participated in the Girls in Tech Hackathon 22, an international app development event, and secured the first position, which is $150. 5 teams of computer science students participated in a virtual hackathon organized by Strawberry Fields High School, and Ramya and Ramandeep secured the first position. One of the things we don't publish and talk about, largely I think because teachers are very modest by nature, is the amazing ease with which Hopetown teachers launched their online classes within a week of the first lockdown. They were all technologically savvy, as Hopetown had introduced technology in the classroom years ago, so that didn't take much time. But the speed with which they began to use new applications to make their teaching effective was something we are really proud of. A very large number of teachers took online courses themselves for their own self-development to make their teaching more effective and went on to share good practices with their colleagues. Now that we are back, they have ensured excellence in quality in areas that were most impacted by COVID, like sports, performing arts, and fine arts. You've seen the superb artwork that has been put together in less than 5 months. I would like to take this opportunity to tell each one of them that we value them beyond measure and could never have survived the pandemic without their unstinting support and enormous hard work in spite of their own hardships. Give them a rousing applause. For years, we've talked to our girls about the necessity to understand the planet they live on and to appreciate and love it and take responsibility to protect it. We see Founders exhibitions as an opportunity to get our girls to research the problems our planet is facing right now. This year's focus on climate change was more real than ever with the extreme weather we are facing. Hindu thought defines the divine not just in terms of human, but also in terms of nature. The divine is not only the father, the mother, brother, sister, lord, and friend, but also takes form as the sacred animals, plants, rocks, planets, and stars. Hindu temples contain not only human representations, but also deities with animal heads and bodies. They contain sacred plants, flowers, rocks, fire, and water as well. This sense of the divine in all of nature is the reason why Hindus find sacred places everywhere. The Hindus have sacred mountains and hills. All of our Char Dham Yatras verify the truth of that. Sacred rivers, lakes, trees, groves, flowers and grasses. They can honor the divine not only in the human form, but in the form of nature. It is recognition of that divine reality which is within all of us. And yet there is a strange indifference to polluting all of these sacred places. It is inexplicable because these are the sources of our life. Talk to your children when they go home with you about their learnings and support them in their initiatives to work towards a better existence on earth. All charity begins at home. I have often said that you and I are partners in bringing up your child. Partner with me in this too. We have taken 3 vows this year. 1, not to light Diwali firecrackers this Diwali in protest against all those who pollute an already polluted air. To segregate plastic and to conserve water. If you start these practices at home, you will be helping towards making a better future for your child. Elon Musk recently said, "We are running the most dangerous experiment in history right now, which is to see just how much carbon dioxide the atmosphere can handle before there's an environmental catastrophe. Let it not be this Diwali." A couple of centuries ago, when the Europeans were colonizing America, a white president of Washington asked to buy red Indian land. For Chief Seattle, this was bewildering, as no one person or community owned land. It belonged to everyone. And this is, briefly, Chief Seattle's response. The president in Washington sends word that he wishes to buy our land. But how can you buy or sell land or the sky? The idea is strange to us. If we do not own the freshness of the air and the sparkle of water, how can you buy them? Every part of the earth is sacred to my people. Every shining pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the dark woods, every meadow, every humming insect, all are holy in the memory and experience of my people. We know the sap which courses through the trees as we know the blood that courses through our veins. We are part of the earth, and it is part of us. The shining water that moves in the streams and rivers is not just water, but the blood of our ancestors. The rivers are our brothers. They quench our thirst. They carry our canoes and feed our children. So you must give the rivers the kindness that you would give to your brother. If we sell our land, remember that the air is precious to us. The air shares its spirit with all the life it supports. The wind that gave our grandfather his first breath also received his last sigh. The wind also gives our children the spirit of life. So if we sell our land, you must keep it apart and sacred as a place where man can go to taste the wind that is sweetened by the meadow flowers. This evening's performance appeals to you to take that responsibility seriously. This is the first Founders at Hopetown for most of our girls and parents. I hope you take back happy memories with you. Happy Diwali.
you, ma'am. Dear audience, please bear with us while the stage is being set for the performance. Ladies and gentlemen, we all are about to witness Hopetown's production, Advait, which means oneness.
When the earth was created, initially everything was perfect. We were granted a pollution-free atmosphere, abundance of resources, wonderful wildlife, nature at its best, and it was nothing short of paradise. Then God created
and he was allowed to do and eat what he pleased. The humans still became greedy, selfish, and conceited. Greed is aptly called the deadly sin because it kills the possibility of a proper relation with the Creator. Our greed led us on the path of sinning against God. We started exploiting resources, destroying forests, polluting the environment, all in the name of advancement and progress. In our own dangerous desire, we did not look back to see that our world was becoming merely a fragment of the utopia it used to be. If we continue to do what we are doing, the consequences will be irreversible and our humanity will be doomed forever. The warnings are already coming clear through the natural disasters and destruction that man is facing. It is time for us to take them seriously. Else Shiva, the destroyer, will destroy our arrogance, desires, and lust. Help us discover our true self and lead us to the path of realization and enlightenment. The universe will be destroyed to be recreated after eradicating evil and negativity. The seeds of nobility would sprout again, urged by the soft showers of faith and belief. Once again, humanity will stand united and love will reign on the earth. We are about to witness this transition through our presentation, Advait.
न प्रकाश न ही अंधकार, न जल न वायु और न ही कोई विकार, कुछ भी नहीं था, बस था तो केवल एक अलौकिक पिंड जो अपने में लीन था। धीरे उसका विकास हुआ। पर्वत, नदियाँ, सागर बने और फिर जीवों का आविर्भाव हुआ। जीवन का विकास केवल मनुष्यों तक सीमित नहीं था। कीट से लेकर विशालकाय जीवों का जन्म हुआ। छोटे तिनके से लेकर विशाल वृक्षों की रचना हुई। झरते झरने, रंग बिरंगे फूल, उड़ती इठलाती तितलियां धरती का रूप सजाने लगी। मोर, कोयल तथा तरह तरह के पक्षी अपने कलरव से धरती के वातावरण में उमंग और उल्लास भरने लगे। मनुष्य भी इस सृष्टि को सजाने संवारने में अपना सहयोग देने लगा। हर तरफ खुशहाली का वातावरण था। भगवती गंगे त्रिभुवन तारिणी तरल तरंगे शंकर मौली विहारिणी विमले मम मति आस्तां तव पद कमले भागीरथी सुखदायिनी मास्ता जल महिमा निगमे ख्यात हरा हम जाने तब महिमानं पाहि कृपा महिमा भयानम् हरिपद पाद धरन्तिनि गंगे हिम विधु मुक्ता धवल तरंगे दूरीकुरु मम दुष्कृति भारं कुरु कृपया भव सागर पारम् रोगं शोकं तापं पापं हर मे भगवति कुमति कलापं त्रिभुवन सारि वसुधारि त्वमसि गतिर्मम खलु संसारे अलकानन्दे परमानन्दे गुरु करुणामयि कातर वन्दे तव कटनिक मानव के विकास के साथ साथ उसके मन में स्वार्थ बस गया। वह समझने लगा, ये सब मेरा है, मेरे लिए है, मैं इसका स्वामी हूँ। इस तरह मैं और मेरा करते करते प्रकृति के उपकार को भूल गया। उसे धरती की चिंता न रही। वह वृक्ष काटने लगा, धरती नदियों को दूषित करने लगा। अपने स्वार्थ को पूरा करने के लिए उसने सब कुछ दूषित कर डाला। प्रकृति के स्वाभाविक प्रवाह को बाधित कर मनुष्य ने स्वयं विनाश को आमंत्रित कर लिया। चारों ओर विनाशकारी दृश्य दिखाई देने लगे। अपनी सुंदर सृष्टि का यह विकृत रूप देखकर आदिदेव शिव ने रौद्र रूप धारण कर लिया। हर तरफ विनाश का तांडव दिखाई दे रहा है, जो सब कुछ नष्ट कर देना चाहता है।
The performance was indeed enthralling. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give them another round of applause.
And it was portrayed marvelously in the melody and rhythm of music and dance. I'm at a loss for words, but I must thank the Performing Arts Department for putting up the show of the year, Advair. Art is silent poetry, and the school's art department has outdone itself once again. I extend my gratitude for their tireless support and applaud them for a successful art exhibition, Hunar. I commend the Photography Club for putting up Melange, the exhibition of pictures by our talented photographers. The IT department is the backbone of our community, and it is my utmost delight to express my gratitude to them for handling everything that occurred virtually. From flyers to invitations to teasers and posters, they have done it all. I applaud the SAFE Club for launching the Organic Hub, which offered a platform to create our own organic products. It is one step forward in carrying the burden of responsibility of safeguarding the world from ourselves. I appreciate the efforts of the Mitra Club, which successfully organized Inayat, a fundraiser for underprivileged schools. I wish to extend my gratitude to the English and Hindi departments for their expert guidance. The tutor room displays added to the beauty of founders, and I sincerely thank all the teachers who have been on their toes from day one. The accurate light and sound monitored by Bhandari Sounds has richly enhanced the grandeur of the show, and I thank them sincerely. I will be failing in my duty if I do not thank Mr. Khan for having provided us with delicious food throughout. We are fortunate to be backed by a team of dedicated student council members that have always been putting their best foot forward in shouldering the responsibility. To all the participants who walked the extra mile and worked day and night to make this event memorable, it was truly a privilege to witness your efforts. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for the support staff who made it their mission to manage everything smoothly. I wish to thank all the parents. I wish to thank all the parents who joined us today because this show wouldn't be complete without you. Finally, a big thank you to my batch Adara for your spirit and undying cooperation. As I stand here in awe, feeling the energy and soaking in the joy, I'm reminded of the lines from Robert Frost's poem. The woods are lovely, dark indeed, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Radhika. May I request you all to rise for the national anthem. Thank you all for being with us here this evening. The venues for the exit counters of the blocks are as follows. Block 3, room number 2. Block 4, room number 3. Block 5, new computer lab. Block 6, room number 5.